Right now, your body is managing your core temperature and regulating the rhythm of your lungs. It's adjusting to the light in the room. This background processing happens constantly, without requiring a single conscious thought. The center of this activity is the central nervous system, or CNS. It is composed of the brain and the spinal cord. Every other nerve in the body, the vast web reaching into your limbs and organs, belongs to the peripheral nervous system. These peripheral nerves act as sensors, gathering raw data like heat, pressure, and texture. However, they lack the internal structure to interpret what those signals mean. The CNS provides that structure. It functions as the body's integration center, translating electrical pulses into the sensations and thoughts that form your reality. This creates a biological contradiction. The body's primary command center is made of highly fragile tissue. The brain has a consistency similar to soft gelatin, making it highly susceptible to physical damage. To protect this tissue, the CNS is housed inside a vault of bone. The skull encases the brain, while the spinal cord runs through the center of the protective vertebrae that form your backbone. Beneath the bone, the brain and spinal cord are wrapped in the meninges, 3 protective membranes anchoring the tissue. Clear cerebrospinal fluid flows between them, acting as a shock absorber that diffuses force and prevents the brain from striking the skull during an impact. This fortification allows the system to interact with the world safely. By tracking a single signal, we can see how this architecture handles the transition from raw data to conscious action. Consider the moment a fingertip presses against a sharp thorn. The pressure immediately triggers sensory neurons located just beneath the skin. These neurons generate an electrical signal that travels up the peripheral nerves of the arm, heading toward the spine at speeds of up to 250 miles per hour. The signal enters the spinal cord, which houses a densely packed bundle of millions of ascending nerve fibers. These fibers move information toward the brain for processing. This ascending pathway is the only way for the brain to receive data. Without this highway, the body cannot register the pain of the thorn or trigger a response to move away. The signal reaches the base of the brain and enters the brainstem. The brainstem acts as a router for autonomic functions. It manages survival operations that do not require your attention, such as the involuntary rhythm of your heart and lungs. This region monitors blood pressure and regulates breathing even while you sleep, ensuring the body remains functional while the rest of the brain is occupied. By handling these vital operations automatically, the brainstem acts as a gatekeeper, allowing the higher brain to focus on interpreting the incoming sensory data from the thorn. The signal moves from the brainstem into the cerebrum, the massive, highly folded upper region of the brain. The cerebrum is divided into specialized lobes that integrate signals with memory and awareness. Here, the brain identifies the pain, recalls the danger, and decides on an action. A motor command then fires, exiting the processing centers and descending toward the brainstem. The signal travels down the spinal cord and out through the peripheral nerves, reaching the muscles of the arm and instructing them to contract. This journey, moving from a physical sensation to a conscious decision and finally to a calculated movement, is what allows for deliberate human action. This entire loop, from the first touch to the muscular reaction, takes place in a fraction of a second. However, because the CNS is the central hub for all signals, damage to this system affects the entire organism. Conditions like stroke, traumatic brain injury, or spinal cord trauma break the circuit. When a nerve pathway is severed or blocked, signals from the brain reach the physical gap and stop, unable to pass to the rest of the body. Depending on the location of the damage, these interruptions can result in paralysis, the loss of autonomic breathing, or the destruction of memory and speech. The central nervous system serves as the physical foundation for human experience. It integrates the biological functions of the body with the cognitive functions of the mind. Because the cerebrum houses your personality and memory, and the brainstem manages your life support, protecting this system is essential. Maintaining CNS health is the requirement for preserving both your physical independence and your unique identity.